Hey guys, Eileen here from Homegrown Happiness. In today's video I'm going to show you how I make my sourdough bagels. So these are thick and delicious New York style bagels with an iconic chewy crust. I'm mixing 50 grams seed starter, 50 grams flour and 50 grams water. Then I'll mix it all together and pop it in a clean jar and place a rubber band around the middle so I can clearly see the rise. In a kitchen of around 21 degrees Celsius, this doubled easily within 4 hours. Once that's doubled, I'll add it to a bowl along with the 450 grams of flour for the dough, which is a strong white bread flour with a protein level of at least 11%, the 12 grams of salt and the 12 grams of sugar, and the 220 grams of water. Then I combine it into a dough ball. This is a very low hydration dough, much lower than my sourdough bread. It's about 56%. And now needs to be kneaded for a good 10 minutes to develop the gluten. If you need a break halfway through, stop, wash the bowl the dough was in, and come back to it. So now the dough needs to ferment at room temperature for around 2 to 4 hours. I place a plate over the bowl just to stop the dough drying out. How long you ferment the dough at this stage is dependent on the warmth of your kitchen. I would say if it's 25 degrees Celsius or above, you may only need to leave it for 2 hours. If it's 19 degrees Celsius and below, you might need to leave it for 4 hours. My kitchen is around 21 degrees Celsius, so I leave mine for 3 hours. After this room temperature ferment, the dough will go in the fridge overnight for a minimum of 10 hours. The next morning, tip the dough out and cut it into 6 even pieces. Use a scale if you want it to be exact. I don't mind it a little bit more rustic. Shape each piece into a tight dough ball. Leave the dough balls to sit and relax for 10 to 15 minutes, then shape them into bagels. I use my thumbs to create a hole in the middle of the dough and twist it around my fingers to widen the hole. I place the shaped bagels on a baking sheet dusted with semolina flour or use parchment paper. Once the bagels are shaped, let them sit for another 2 hours until slightly puffed. They won't really rise. Again, if your kitchen is really warm, this time can be decreased. If it's cold, the time can be increased. Near the end of the proofing time, preheat the oven to 220 degrees Celsius fan bake or 240 degrees Celsius regular oven. Bring a large pot of water to the boil. Once the water is boiling, add in a heaped tablespoon of honey. This honey water bath is what the bagels will poach in before being baked. It helps give that chewy crust, and the honey gives a great golden sheen when baked without the need for egg wash on the bagels. Drop the bagels into the boiling water one at a time so they don't stick, and poach them for around a minute, flipping them halfway through so it's 30 seconds on each side. Take them out and let them drain on a rack. While they are still hot and sticky from the water, sprinkle over any seeds or toppings. Place the coated bagels on a baking sheet that's been generously dusted with semolina flour, or use parchment paper so that the bagels don't stick. Now the bagels need to be baked. I bake them at the initial hot temperature for about 3 minutes, and then I turn the oven down to 200 degrees Celsius fan bake or 220 degrees Celsius regular oven, and continue baking them for around 20 minutes until they're a nice deep golden brown. If you find that your bagels are baking unevenly after 15 minutes of baking, you can remove the oven tray and turn it around. Once the bagels are baked, leave them for 30 minutes before slicing. These are delicious when served fresh on the day, but they're best toasted on the following days. Bagels freeze very well, and helps to slice them before freezing them so you can pop the bagel halves in the toaster when you want to defrost them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. See you next time.